channel mostly for fun. It's when I first started it, I wanted to, you know, make some money on it, help pay for college and everything. But I mostly do this personal brand for fun. This is why.
And by the way, that's why you see people, a lot of people have a lot of success when they do things for fun and they're not trying to just like push it and push it and push it. There has to be a level of just like authenticity. And when you don't really need something, usually it's when you're like the most passionate about it a lot of times. Not to say like you just can't want something really bad, because I did want YouTube very badly. But if all you want is just the outcome of it, like the subscribers and the money, eventually if that does stop, like it just falls apart. Hey guys, Tommy Bryson here. Welcome to the Tommy Bryson Show. And by the way, guys, as you guys know, I'm nosy, but one of the ways I learned how to make more and more money was by watching more people make money and teach me how to make money. So I'm always interested in and always nosy to see exactly how YouTubers, especially, how they make money, and today we're gonna take a look at Nate O'Brien, which is a pretty good YouTuber, by the way, and he has 13 sources of income. But the goal is to find out, how does Nate O'Brien make all this money while he's also traveling the world? Because by the way, if you follow him on IG, he's always traveling and always like in a pickup truck and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. Let's find out exactly what is going on here. If you guys are new here, like this video. On top of that, also subscribe. It helps a lot. So thank you guys so much. Without further ado though, let's find out how he makes 13 streams of income. That's really awesome.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I'm going to share my 13 streams of income. I haven't made a video like this in a while. I know I'm only making like one video per month, but I thought.
Yeah, maybe I think he makes a video like every 2 weeks, something like that. But yeah, he's been traveling, man. He's been traveling. I think Nate O'Brien reminds me a lot of Tim Ferriss, because he gets to like enjoy everything he does. He also has a solid income, but doesn't really need that much.
Thought this was one that a number of people would be interested in, especially because I haven't mentioned ever some of these different income sources on this channel. Only some of my friends, I really talked to them about this.
Awesome.
And it's mostly just because, believe it or not, I'm actually a pretty private person. I don't like talking about everything in my life. Sounds strange saying that, being that I have a YouTube channel, but
by the way, YouTube is just one aspect of a person's life, but it's not like you hear everything about the person, right? It's, some things you keep it private.
Nonetheless, let's get started with this video. Let's talk about this, the different streams. I will note one thing, that although it might sound nice to have 13 different streams of income, I'll say this, that there comes a point where once you get to maybe 4 or 5 different streams of income,
interesting,
that you want to really think twice about adding more streams of income.
I like adding streams of income that kind of collaborate with each other. So if I do YouTube, make a course that pivots off of YouTube, do consultation off of YouTube, it's kind of like building off of each other, right? But if you have like very different sources of income, then it's just a lot more time consuming. It's just different. Like I have stocks, I get dividends, I also have growth, right? All those things right there. But it's just like, it's kind of like the same thing.
And I say this not to deter you, but I say this because if you have 13 active streams of income, right? There's passive income and there's active income. If you have 13 active streams of income where you are working on them every day,
yeah,
you're not going to have enough time to do anything. You're going to be working on all these and you're going to be stretched too thin. You're going to have
and by the way, what's the point of making money is great. I'm not going to say it's not great, because it's good. But the whole point of making money, a lot of money or a little bit of money, is to get you freedom, right? And I never liked the idea of like, what I want to do? I want to work 50 weeks out of the year and have 2 weeks of vacation. I just never was a fan of that idea.
Too many obligations and too many businesses or investments or other income sources. And so I believe once you get to maybe a few, maybe 4 or 5 streams of income, this is when I shifted to focusing on how can I make my money work for me and make these as passive as possible.
Yeah, this guy reminds me a lot of Tim Ferriss, man. A lot of Tim Ferriss. Pretty awesome, Nate.
So you will note that between all 13 of these different income sources, probably the majority of them are passive income sources. I know that's a little buzzword that people like to throw around, but there is something to be said about that. I really seek passive sources versus.
And it does make sense, right? That's the whole goal. Passive, 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 passive.
Active sources of income once you get past.
Usually for YouTubers, by the way, it's like the AdSense, because the YouTube you actually make There's also passive. You also have like affiliate marketing, you have brand deals and stuff like that. But I'm hoping to get something different off this video.
4 or 5 different streams. So let's get started. But of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that. Don't forget, I don't sell any courses. There's no products. There's no upsells, so you don't have to worry about that. I hate like all that stuff. There's no reason to do that. And I'll also mention.
And by the way, it makes sense. I used to think exactly like Nate Bryan, but it also does make sense to build a course. You could think it doesn't, right? But then in reality, when you have so many videos, Nate, right? So then if someone wants to capture everything, how do you do that? And we put everything into one video. In reality, it doesn't really. It's just different when you pay for something versus when you can just watch something. A lot of the times you just don't believe in it that much. Not believe in it, that's the wrong word, but you don't appreciate it that much.
Mention this before we get started. One last thing, you don't have to be an influencer. I'm not going to just list off like 13 different ways that my YouTube channel makes money, because I know a lot of people are not YouTubers or influencers.
Awesome.
And so they don't really care about that. They want to hear about other streams of income as well. So I'll certainly share those. But because you're watching this on my channel, the first stream of income is my personal brand. So I'm going to wrap a bunch of different income sources into this income source.
Awesome.
So we're not going to break down everything on my
I want to hear the amounts too. So hopefully he talks about the amounts of money he makes.
personal brand, the channel that you're watching here. But I'll just tell you this, that between my YouTube channel and wherever else I am on the internet, my website, my Instagram.
I didn't even know he had a website.
Yes, I get a number of brand deals and obviously YouTube ads and affiliate marketing on this channel. So I like to do
as I predicted,
this channel mostly for fun. It's when I first started it, I wanted to make some money on it, help pay for college and everything. But I mostly do this personal brand for fun. This is why.
And by the way, that's why you see a lot of people have a lot of success when they do things for fun, and they're not trying to just like push it and push it and push it. There has to be a level of just like authenticity. And when you don't really need something, usually it's when you're like the most passionate about it a lot of times. Not to say like you just can't want something really bad, because I did want YouTube very badly. But if all you want is just the outcome of it, like the subscribers and the money, eventually if that does stop, like it just falls apart.
You don't see me stuffing like a bunch of sponsors down your throat, and I'm not going to be like promoting one of my courses, because I just don't really want to do that. And I guess I could make more money with this personal brand if I was going to sell something.
Yeah, I agree. I agree on the whole like the sponsorship stuff, the affiliate marketing stuff. Like, one thing with me is that with my channels, for example, like whatever products I tell you about, and one of the products I talk about these days is like M1 Finance, because basically that's what I use for investing. And people ask me all the time, Tommy, what do you use? What do you use? What do you use? So that's always what I say, but it's never about like, use this thing, although I don't use it and I never heard about it.
But like I said, I really do this one for fun, so I don't feel like I need to sell something. Hopefully that makes sense to people. But yes, this is one of my income sources. It's one of the largest ones, I suppose, although it's been slowing down a little bit because I don't make a lot of videos anymore, and I've been working on some other things.
Interesting. And by the way, there's something called self-sabotage. A lot of the times when you get success, you want to pivot, and that's not a good thing, by the way. A lot of the times it's just you trying to restart all over again and go back on the whole like hamster wheel or whatever. Sometimes it's fine, but sometimes it's not.
But leading into the next income source, something that I was worried about a couple of years ago was that I was going to have all my eggs in one basket, and I was going to be like this YouTuber, and maybe I wouldn't want to do that forever, and so I wanted to set up some different income sources.
That is very smart. I think a lot of people put their eggs in the social media basket. That's why, till this day, and I'll be honest here, 95% of the money that I've made from YouTube is just basically invested. Like 95% of it. That's basically it. Like all the money has been invested or saved up somewhere, because you just can't depend on this stuff. Like YouTube has always been something like I wanted to do so badly, and it's great, don't get me wrong, but to depend, like how you have YouTubers and they blow up, and then before you know it, they have like this fancy house, fancy apartment, and all this other stuff, like the cars and the experiences. That's all great. But then this channel starts slowing down. Then you have Fusi having to sell his Ferrari, having to move back in with his parents, and having to sell the house that he bought for his parents. You know what I mean? Like, no offense to Fusi, by the way. I used to watch Fusi a lot, but that's the problem. You know what I mean? I never wanted to do that. So that's why as a guy like me, which I make a decent amount of money, I have a Toyota. I drive a Toyota. I have an apartment that is like just a normal apartment here in Puerto Rico. I don't live in like the fancy area with all the rich folks. It's just like a normal apartment. You know what I mean? That's one thing I've always watched out for. Always, always, always.
Is outside of that. And that's why I started some other YouTube channels with my brother, which we turned into brands basically.
I remember this. Yeah, I didn't know he had a brother until like I found like a tech channel with him and his brother. That's interesting.
You know, we have obviously with that, we have blogs coinciding with that. But we started a couple, and then every year we start a couple more. So now we're up to 9 YouTube channels.
That's crazy, bro. I have 3 channels. And by the way, if a channel doesn't revolve around you, it's more like more efficient in a way, because I make this channel here and like the main channel, then the Axe channel, like great channels, right? But if I kick the bucket, like it's done, you know what I mean? But when it revolves around other people and like other subjects like tech and stuff like that, usually not that hard to do.
Thankfully, I don't make most of the content. I think it would be too much if I ever tried to do that. So we outsource most of it. That involves a lot of delegation to have other people create videos and put
He probably has virtual assistants, VAs.
Content together and trying to picture and envision where these channels are going to be going in the future. So that's honestly where most of my time goes, is these 9 other YouTube channels. Like I said, every year we add a couple more, we create a couple more. So now it's just gotten to the point where there's 9.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't really talk about this a lot, and to be honest, I'm not going to go super into detail in this video, except for a couple of my close friends. We talk a lot about it. But yes, that's.
I wonder what those channels are, and it's pretty interesting that he doesn't share them, because it'll probably be like a massive boost to those channels if you like promoted them and just look a little bit on this channel.
That is my primary source of income, just working with those YouTube channels, and it's actually more fun. I actually am not the type to be on camera all the time. I'm not a great speaker. I guess I've gotten a little bit better at it, but still, it's not my favorite thing to do, to speak to a camera every day. This is why I do it once a month. I like doing it once a month.
I'm like the opposite, like I like being in front of the camera, but I don't like everything that goes like in the background of it. It's cool, but I like being the person with the message a lot of the time.
I wouldn't want to do it every day. And so I enjoy working behind the scenes, delegating, trying to picture where to take these different channels in the future. And it's a lot more fun for me.
That's awesome.
So that's
knowing what you want, what you like is pretty good. It's pretty
where
good.
Most of my time goes.
And by the way, let's say Nate O'Brien makes like $50,000 a month, or maybe like even $10,000, $5,000 a month. But if he doesn't need a lot of money, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like it's just people are obsessed with making like a ton of money. Like if you offer like a service and you solve big problems, you'll make money. It's just the way economics works. But it's just making sure that you actually want the lifestyle you're actually building for yourself. That's very important.
Throughout my week. Okay, so leading into the next income source is going to be blogs. Now these obviously tie pretty.
That's something I have to do, man. Blogs. But I don't want to be like Nate writing those blogs. I actually want to hire somebody to do those blogs. What happened here? I don't know what happened there. That's why KSI.
Once a month, I wouldn't want to do it every day. And so I enjoy working behind the scenes. Fun for me into the other with most of the channels. So
hold up.
Blogs. Now these obviously tie pretty well together with most of the channels. So
and by the way, blogs are great because they create SEOs, right? And then basically when people go to those blogs to check out the content there, you can lead them back to those channels to watch that video content, which then they watch ads, but they also watch ads at the blog level. It's like this circle of content, right? You have the blogs, new viewers look at the videos, go back to YouTube channel, and then they might subscribe to like your email list or like want like extra stuff. Like it's awesome.
With those 9 channels, there's 5 blogs from those 9 channels. So we don't have blogs for every channel, but there's certain
I need a blog,
ones that
guys.
we want to.
If you're a writer, hit me up.
Kind of create as a more so larger media brand that has all the socials and the channel and the blog, and so we tie all those together. But it's funny when I heard about people making money with blogs, because when I thought of blogs, I used to think of first thing comes to mind is like 2004, right? And you think about like old websites. Who reads blogs anymore? Most people watch.
Blogs are so awesome. Like you're always reading a blog, honestly, but blogs this way, the way he's thinking about it now. But like, think about it. Like, whenever you're searching for a camera, like, what do you click? It's a blog. Somebody wrote a blog about a camera saying like, hey, here are the best cameras. When you click that link and you buy it, it's affiliate marketing. There's so many ways on the internet to make money. so many ways does not mean it's easy.
There's only a couple more here. One of them is Fundrise. This is not really sponsored.
Fundrise. What was this company about? I forgot what this was about. Isn't this like about like investing into like little companies? No. Oh no, Fundrise is the real estate company, right? Oh yeah. Fundrise. I made a video about Fundrise. And I think the whole concept between Fundrise, oh yeah, what I didn't like about it was basically like the illiquidity of it. It's kind of like you're buying like real estate, right, with other people, but there's no exchange to actually like exchange these you know, the shares that you actually bought. So it becomes very illiquid.
But I do have an affiliate link for them down below if you want to check it out, sign up for it. But basically what this is it allows you to invest into real estate. They're through e-REITs. And so it was just a way for me to start investing into real estate, get my feet wet, and I don't know what the hell I was saying there, to dip my toes into the water and to start investing into real estate through Fundrise. And it lets me invest into multiple different projects down in Texas and in some different areas that I can invest into. So that's pretty great. I think I want to get more into real estate somehow. I don't have the time for it.
I just wouldn't do real estate this way at all. I think the one of the main problems I found when you gotta watch that video too, by the way, guys, because just look up Fundrise, Tommy Bryson. Like I made a whole video on it, very detailed. But it was like around like 2 years ago, so I don't really remember like all the facts here. So disclaimer here. But overall, it was kind of like if you buy something and then you want to sell it, you just can't sell it, you know, because there has to be a market to actually buy back your shares. You know what I mean? And if Fundrise buys it for you, they have I think they have the right to either buy or say no. And I think there might be like a penalty or something like that too. So like I like having stocks, right? And I'm not gonna sell anything, but I like having the option that if something crazy were to happen, I can sell. You know what I mean? Like I like the option.
Thinking about doing some vacation rentals, but I need to find a partner for that where perhaps I can put the money up and they can put the time in.
That's called a management company. You don't need all that stuff, man. There's so many ways to automate things. You know what I mean? Like if you get like I know people that have, for example, like Airbnb businesses, and just hire like a management company. They do the whole cleaning. Everything's like automated. Like you don't really have to do anything. You know what I mean?
And we can split it in some form like that. So that's my strategy for real estate. But Fundrise is a great way for me, at least for now. I feel very comfortable with it, although I don't know if I'd put my life savings in it. Maybe, you know, I'll make a video further in depth showing you my Fundrise account.
That'd be cool.
And going in detail with that. Okay, so there's 4 more income sources that I have. The next one is an e-commerce brand that I started with my friend, very close friend. And so I own 30% of that. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you that, but I own 30% of that company. And it's the same deal as what I was talking about with potentially doing some type of vacation rentals where I put up the money, he puts in the time, and so I take 30%. And we have it all figured out, and it is already
Awesome.
profitable. We just started it back in Q4 of 2020. So what's that, 9 months ago or so, we started it, and it's doing pretty well. And it's not drop shipping. We actually do this in-house, but he takes care of all the fulfillment.
That's awesome.
And he does most of it.
The tricky part about these deals is basically like you know, when somebody starts to feel like I'm doing all the work, you know, Nate just put up the money. You know, they have to have like a really solid relationship so this doesn't turn belly up, which is possible.
Because he has more time on his hands. So it's one of my favorite things to do now is just finding places to put money and to invest money into my own things that I actually have more control over. For example, if I'm investing into Facebook, well, I don't have any say in Facebook. I'm just some kid over here. Well, I don't know if I'm a kid anymore. I'm 23, but I'm just the
23 years old. Look at that. Nate is like a year younger than I am.
Guy over here who is this little tiny guy who doesn't have any say in Facebook. Whereas if I own 30% of a company or 60 or 70 or 100% of a company, I have a lot more say in what happens with that company. And so I feel more comfortable with that. Not to sound like a control freak, but I think it really is.
That's not what it is, man. It's fine. It's fine, right? It's kind of like the reason why, you know, REITs are great, right? Real estate investment trusts, they're great. But I rather also like have my own real estate where I can take care of it and make sure that everything's pretty solid. Like I have to say whether what happens or what we invest into, right? I understand.
It's nice to have more say in what a company does. All right, so there's 3 more income sources that I have.
This is a long video, man. This is such a long video.
The next one is staking crypto.
I hate that. Yo, everyone has tried. By the way, I also have money invested into crypto. I'm not invested. It's not an investment. I shouldn't say that. I put $500 into cryptocurrency. It's grown to like 20, like what? No, no, not 20, no, 2020 or $2,500. But when I invested the money, I made a video about it. I said, hey, this is just so I can stay interested in this and I can make videos about it and show you the fluctuation in it. But it's not my game, man.
Massive amounts of income, but it is one that still does pay me. And I guess, I could probably bundle in a couple other things in this one point as well, which is basically like any other type of interest that I might get from dividend stocks or from bank accounts or from money market accounts, and then also staking crypto or even mining crypto. I have some couple of different experiments running at the moment with some helium miners and some other things. But we'll see how those pan out in the future. Not huge income sources, but
by the way, for things like this where you want to like just gamble money and stuff like that, usually use the 90-10 rule. 10% into like this stuff where you don't know what's gonna happen, then 90% of your money to things that you actually know what's gonna happen. Investment basis.
Just kind of something to do for fun and kind of like, I don't want to say an afterthought, but not a significant amount of income from those. And then the final two that I forgot to include here was brand deals. So obviously I do some sponsors on this channel or on our other channels, and those do pay some bills. I've noticed that companies are definitely willing to pay a lot more money than what they used to be able to pay.
Yeah.
Even just 2 or 3 years ago. I think that most channels with, say, 500,000 subscribers can probably get at least $10,000 per video that's sponsored, although it depends what industry you're in. If you're in the gaming industry, it's way different from if you are in the cybersecurity industry, where you can probably get $20,000 or $30,000.
Yeah, man, it's no joke, man. It is no joke
For a sponsored video. So it totally depends. Don't quote me on those numbers, but I'm just telling you that the sponsor rates have definitely been going up a lot. And the final source of income, which is also not a huge one, but I did have to include it here just for the hell of it, and that is by renting out my truck that I converted into a camper back in May, or is that April of this
Does he use the app Turo? And is this a sponsored video by Turo? Let's see.
year, and I was living in it for May and June. Then I came over here to Europe. I'm in Poland right now, and so I'll just rent it out to.
I wonder, is Nate staying in hotels, or is he doing like short-term rentals? What is he doing over there?
People that I know, people that I trust, for a couple weeks at a time, and I'll get some money for that. It basically just pays for the truck, pays for insurance, and probably pays for some of my food expenses as well. Because if you're doing any type of van life, you can rent those out for a lot of money. I have some friends who will rent them out on Airbnb or on Turo, and they'll be able to get hundreds of dollars per day.
It's crazy
by renting out. They're really super.
Cars right now are very hard to buy, more expensive obviously, and also merchants to rent. It's crazy.
Up Mercedes van. I don't have a really nice one. It's just a truck.
It's a nice truck,
but it still does pay some bills, and it is a nice little fun income source that I have. Those are my 13 sources of income. I'm sure I forgot some, like certain types of investments, and there's definitely a lot more that are not producing income. They're just investments that I've made, and I'm waiting, and they're kind of just sitting there marinating, and hopefully.
By the way, overall, guys, did I like this video? The answer is yes. Nate O'Brien's a pretty cool guy. And you just remember, right? Nate O'Brien and a lot of YouTubers, also including myself, right? The amount of money you can make is a lot. So then the big conundrum becomes, well, what can I invest my money into now? You know what I mean? Like, is it going to be crypto? Is it going to be building this business? There's just a lot of things you could potentially do, so, but it sounds like to me, like Nate knows what he's doing, and he uses a part of his money also just like have some fun with it and figure things out, which is fine. However, that's not really my tactic. It's more like I'm very boring. My money is very boring. It's like a garbage company. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the same thing. You pick up the garbage, throw it away. Pick it up, throw it away. It's like the same thing. So I don't switch it up at all. I keep doing what works. I don't take these gambles, and I just take it step by step. That's really all I do. And that's how Warren Buffett managed to become Warren Buffett, right? It's just step by step, rinsing and repeating the same thing. Getting rich is very, very boring, because all you're doing is doing the same things that make you money. You know what I mean? So that's the whole thing. But yeah, I like this video a lot. I had a lot of fun. Wish Nate O'Brien here all the best. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Comment down below and let me know, though, What is your goal as far as like passive income? Like, how much streams of income do you want to have personally? And like, just write down also how much money they actually make, and also what they are. Like, it's very important to like have like these numbers in mind and have, for example, like goals in mind. That way you can actually have something to shoot for, and it's not just like this unrealistic thing that you have in your head but you never said it out loud. Okay, comment down below, let me know. I want to see. I'll respond to the comments, of course, and tell you, hey, that might be a good idea, or hey, that might be a very bad idea. I'll tell you in the comments down below. See you over there. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. If you guys want to call me on my third channel called Ask Me Bryson. I take calls every Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Eastern. On top, I also click my face right here for subscription, and also click my face right here to actually watch more content. See you guys tomorrow, and peace.